This is already an artemisinin combination therapy, because here we have 10 substances in it. We have artesunate and 9 other products that work all for malaria. Therefore, we say we don't need chemical or industrial artemisinin combination therapy. We need only this plant that is already a combination of 10 different anti-malarials.
So that was a hybrid that this person from China made. He took 2 plants of...
Okay. Now the problem is that we say God has for every country some diseases and some plants. And the problem now, this plant grows only in temperate zones where no malaria exists. But where malaria exists, this plant does not grow. So we said, was it a mistake of God, or why this one? But it's not a problem, we just need our intelligence. And some of my friends, they made a hybrid. They put the father from Vietnam and the mother from China together, and they grew a new plant.
So it was you who got this idea that they should put these 2...
Yeah. No, the idea didn't come from me. No. Okay. The idea came to make more artesunate in it, because people want to have this medicine out of this. So the idea was how to stimulate this plant to make more artemisinin. Now this plant has 20 times more artesunate than the wild form. Anyway, today we have several institutes worldwide who make different hybrids from different countries, and
they are all working the same, or
no. They work with different wild forms. You can take a wild form from Vietnam and another from Romania or whatever. You bring them together, and then this hybrid now grows in Africa, 3 meters high normally. We are in general, we are against hybrids because we have so many bad experiences with Monsanto, maize hybrids and so on, because people get dependent. But here we have the advantage that you make cuttings, so you cut small branches and you put them into water and they will get roots. And so if you have once our starter kit, then you can grow many years until the rest of your life. You can now continue to make.
So how come that this was suddenly able to grow in Africa?
Yes, now it grows in Africa.
But how? It didn't grow before, but...
No. It didn't grow before. Artemisia annua is a plant of the temperate zones. Northern China, northern Vietnam, up to Eastern Europe. It grows right and left of the street on rubbish, and that tells us already it needs a lot of nitrogen. If you don't have a compost, it will not grow. And that is the biggest problem. People tell me, we have planted it, but it grows only 20 centimeters, it flowers and it dies. And I said, okay, you have to grow it on a very fertile and loose soil, like sweet potatoes. You know sweet potatoes? Yes. They grow only on a compost. You will never grow on a hard soil. And the same is Artemisia. And if people understand that, and if they give a lot of care to this plant, then they will have a lot of profit. The problem is that many people think like cassava, manioc, you put it in the soil, and after 2 years you come and you look how it is and you harvest. It is not like that with Artemisia. It
you have to be very careful.
Extremely lot of care. You cannot abandon your plant anymore. And that is what people are not used to it. So it gives you a lot of benefits, but it needs also a lot of care.
How many people, how many percentage did you say was healed by, if they have malaria, when they take this as tea?
Okay. The problem is that we don't know what is the healing rate of malaria, because we have many different definitions. WHO said formerly you are healed from malaria if after 2 weeks you have no fever or no plasmodium in your blood. Because many Africans have plasmodium their whole life in the blood. So it means they are never healed. But they are healed if they have no fever, no symptoms anymore. And if you take this definition, that you say there are no clinical symptoms anymore, then we can say 90-95% of patients are healed after the intake of Artemisia annua. Whereas you may say a tourist who really wants to get rid of all malaria parasites in his blood, then in some cases we need more. We need some Fansidar, we need some doxycycline, we need some chloroquine or amodiaquine more. So you make Artemisia tea combination therapy. You take this tea and you add a very cheap old anti-malarial product. And then you come near to 100%.
Have you, for example, when we were in Tanzania, we heard that when people they drink it as a tea,
yes,
and when they eat the actual tea, they eat it.
They eat it.
Then they had a greater effect than when they just drank the tea. Do you have more experiences like this?
Yeah, you can do that. But we also do it. We make a powder of the leaves and we swallow it all together. So you don't. Yeah. Okay. So you pour boiling water over it, and now you eat it as a soup. So you don't filter it anymore. You eat it all together.
Okay.
But it is right. You can also the same quantity, 5 grams of dried powder, you can eat directly. Or you mix it with sugar, or you mix it with honey, or you mix it with yogurt, or you mix it with oil, and you eat it directly. It's also possible. It's the same effect. If you make a tea or you eat that directly, it's no difference.
I have seen some of your studies that people they were healed from the parasites in their blood after nearly all of them were healed after 7 days. But for example, I gave this to an African friend I had.
Yes.
And just after 2-3 days,
yes,
he was tested at the laboratory.
Yeah.
And they could not find any parasite whatsoever in his blood.
That is a I would say the problem that some people are drinking the tea and they are healed after 1 day. So they will never take the tea, as we say, 7 days. But we really insist people, please take it 7 days. But it is true, we have patients with 41-degree fever, and after 1 day they have no fever anymore, they continue to work and so on. But we say, please don't make that. You got malaria, please stay 7 days quietly in bed or whatever, don't work anymore, and take your Artemisia tea, and then you can work again. But the problem is, they take tea for 1 day and they continue to work, and we are not happy about that.
But if they feel strength and they continue to take the medicine in 7 days, you don't think you think still they should stay at home?
That is what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. Another thing what is very important, it should be kept away from humidity. So humidity in tropical countries is a problem. Then you will see that the tea turns to yellow and it is no longer effective. Therefore, 1 minute. Your tea, when you have finished your production, then you need absolutely either a metal barrel or a glass barrel or a plastic barrel, and here you put all your Artemisia tea in it to be sure.
To be totally dry.
Yeah, the humidity will not destroy it. Well, in dry season it's not a problem, but in rainy season we have 90% of humidity, and then all the tea is destroyed after some weeks.
How can they dry in the rainy season?
In the rainy season, they dry it firstly 3 days in the full sunshine. That is possible. Then it is nearly dried, and then afterwards, 1 minute.